All right. So yesterday we ended with 12. So now we're getting into the special types of factoring. So number 16, we have b squared minus 81. Okay, so this is a difference of squares. Okay, so what squared gives you 81?
9.
So you can think about this as b squared minus 9 squared. So then this factors into b plus 9 and b minus 9. Okay, and you don't have to write this step here. I just am just to make sure you see it right now what's happening.
If it was b squared plus 9 squared, would they both be positive?
No,
Okay.
that wouldn't be a true statement. Because you'd end up with a middle term. All right, 18, t squared minus 16t plus 64. All right, so this is another special type. Okay, this is the perfect square trinomial. Okay, so what squared gives you 64?
8.
So this is 8 squared. Okay, remember there's a 1 in front of the t. Why is, what?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. The light was on, so it had a weird glare on it. So remember, from the perfect square trinomial, the middle term is 2 times whatever number's in the front times the number that's being squared in the back. So it's, this thing has a mind of its own again, apparently. Remember, it's because it's negative, okay? It's negative 2 times 1 times 8 if you want to see exactly what's happening. With these ones, it's obviously with there being a 1 there, it's a little, not different, but it's a little easier. Okay, when we get to the ones that have a number in front of them, then it'll change it a little bit. See if that helps. Maybe
Where do you get the 1 from?
in front of the t. Because this is 2 times a times b.
Oh. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I just forgot.
Okay, so then this factors into t minus 8 squared. Okay, and remember the minus sign, it matches up to whatever the middle term sign is. And obviously don't forget, you can FOIL to check. Okay. Alright, 20 c squared plus 28c plus 196. So this one, you may not know what, off the top of your head, what squared gives you 196, okay? So if you don't know, then you can think, okay, what number's in front of here? In this case, it's a 1. So 2 times what gives you 28? So 14. So that tells you that's 14 squared. Okay. So then you would have c plus 14 squared. Okay, because remember, the sign here is what goes down there. Well, the 196 is just it's 14 squared, so the 14 is what's going.
Oh, so you don't do anything with the 20. What are you doing with the 20? Oh, you use the 20.
I just use the 28 to help me figure out what this number is if I don't know. Because, I don't know all squared values past, 13.
Okay.
Some of them I do, but, not a lot of them, so I'll use the middle term to help me figure it out if I don't know.
Okay.
22 s squared minus 26s plus 169. Okay, so that would give me s minus 13 squared. The special types are nice. You don't really do anything. All right, so then The last thing that we're doing in this section is solving the equation. Okay, so you're still going to factor the same way, and then it's being set equal to 0. So with something like 24, got x squared minus 8x plus 12 is equal to 0. So what you're going to do is we're going to factor this x squared minus 8x plus 12, okay, to get the two parentheses, and then I'll show you what we're going to do after that. So what would this factor into?
3.
Oh, 6. Wait. Oh, yeah.
6 and 2. Okay, what are the signs on 6 and 2?
They're both negative.
So x squared minus 2x minus 6x plus 12. And I would just always write the equal 0 so you don't forget that part. So then grouping, what do I take out of the first part? Which leaves you with x minus 2. Out of the second part,
6.
negative 6. So that leaves you with x minus 2. So then you have x minus 6 times x minus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, now to solve, what this allows us to do, okay, is to set each piece equal to 0. So x minus 6 is equal to 0 and x minus 2 is equal to 0. So then move the 6 over, so x is equal to 6. Move the 2 over, x is equal to 2. So those are your two possible solutions.
The only thing about factoring I actually remember from 8th grade.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa,
Oh, I knew that.
I knew that.
Very good.
I knew that.
28b squared minus 6b plus 9 is equal to 0. What do you notice about this one?
It's
It's the,
1 has to be negative, 1 has to be positive.
is it the trinomial thing? The square?
It's the perfect square trinomial, okay, because this is 3 squared and this is 2 times 1 times 3. Okay, so then that means that this factors into b minus 3 squared is equal to 0. So if we need to undo a square, we take the square root. Okay, taking the square root of 0 is still just 0. So that's going away. So we have b minus 3 is equal to 0. Move it over. B is equal to 3.
So if it's a perfect square trinomial, there's only one solution.
Yes.
Well, because they're both the same solution.
Yeah, because it's technically a repeated solution.
Wait, can you just run me through how you got b minus 3 squared in the blue?
Yeah, because it's the perfect square trinomial. So it's this form. Because you had whatever b squared. Okay, I'm using the numbers we had in our problem. You had b squared minus 2 times the number here is 1. Okay, it was 1 or 1b or whatever. Times this number squared, which was, this was 9, so 3 squared, so times 3. And then obviously they have the b with them, which is, the b is confusing right now because obviously there's a b written in this, the way that it's written. And then 9 is 3 squared, so then we write it as a minus b squared. So that just fits that formula for a perfect square trinomial, that the middle term is 2 times a times b, with a and b being the numbers that are in front, or the
With
numbers
those,
in
though,
there.
would you be, like, if you forgot, like, say you're on a test and you forget that it, like, the formula or whatever, could you factor it regularly?
Yeah, you
Get
still
the
could,
answer.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that would have worked, because you would have said b squared minus 3b minus 3b plus 9 is what you would have done, and then you would have had b times b minus 3, negative 3, so then b minus 3, b minus 3. But if you have it where it finishes like that, you still need to ultimately write it as b minus 3 squared. You need to combine it down since it can be. But yes, if you forgot that that was a perfect square trinomial, you could do it this way. All right, one more. 36. M squared is equal to 7m. Ideas on what I can do here.
And maybe move. I should divide it. Move over the 7m. It'd be like m squared minus 7m equals 0.
Yep. You always want to have it so that it's equal to 0. Now what can I do?
Factor out m.
Take out an m. Leave me with m minus 7. So then now, because these things are being multiplied, that allows me to split it to say m is equal to 0 and m minus 7 is equal to 0. So m is equal to 7. So m equals 0 and m equals 7 are the two solutions there.
How interesting.
All right. I didn't give y'all any problems yet, right? All right. 3 through 35, every other odd. Do y'all know what that means?
Yes.
Okay. I was making sure that I don't know if I've used that term in here much. So the other day I said it in one of the classes and they were like, "What does that mean?"
It means
I was
what
like
she
3,
said.
skip 5, 7, skip 9, 11.
Was it the ninth graders?
No,
Oh.
Oh, that's even worse.
it was pre-cal.
Oh.
Oh.
Nice.